this Premier League weekend after the 8 games on Saturday that saw wins crucially for the top 2, Manchester City and Arsenal, also for Liverpool and Brentford and Leeds. Tomorrow we'll bring you Fulham against Nottingham Forest, which is a very important game towards the bottom of the Premier League after Aston Villa have beaten Manchester United for just the second time in 27 Premier League meetings at Villa Park. And in doing so, they have grabbed the opportunity to go back within 3 points of Arsenal. So all of the top 3 winning again this weekend. So we go into Christmas with Arsenal in the number 1 spot, 2 clear of City and 3 clear of Villa. And as Jim was saying, there is now a 7-point gap between Villa and the chasing pack. The next team in line is Chelsea, and that is Villa's next game. In fact, Villa play Chelsea away and Arsenal away next. The Liverpool also on 29 points. Manchester United missing the opportunity again to go into the top 5. They stay 7th on 26 points. Bit of a gap at the bottom as well. Not, of course, between the bottom club Wolves, still just with 2 points, 16 from safety. But that win for Leeds has catapulted them up to 19 points. And as you can see, 7 from safety now, Burnley, and a 5-point gap between West Ham and Forest, and that could get bigger if Forest get a result in the Monday Night Football away at Fulham, who themselves are on 20 points in 15th position.
We all know. We sit there when we watch Morgan Rogers play. These boys watch Morgan Rogers play. The analysis have obviously said this is a real danger man, and what he wants to do is come in on his right side from the left-hand perch. And that's exactly what he does. You have to start and get some support to your defenders on the inside. As soon as he picks the ball up now, I believe he knows what he wants to do. He starts driving, and look, it just opens up for him. Agate there he's probably 10 yards away from him. If you look at Agate, he's deep in the box, and he puts his hands behind his back, and he's 10 yards away from him. When this goes into the back of the net, you'll see him there from behind. I mean, it's poor. Yoro has to do better. He has to show him down the line, but there needs to be some defensive support on the inside. Morgan don't want to go down the outside. He doesn't want to go on his left side. He wants to come in on his strong right foot, and he's brilliant at it. But the defending was very poor.
Will United be a bit frustrated with their positioning and the fact they didn't clear the ball for Rodgers' second goal as well?
Yeah, I think it's very similar in many ways. I think they've limited Aston Villa to minimal kind of opportunity, especially even territory around their box. But when they've got here a couple of times, and it's kind of, the first one was a little bit naive. The second one's a little bit slow and a little bit after you, and kind of being a bit too nice, and probably a bit. Listen, there's a couple of younger players in there, and maybe Martinez is playing out position in midfield, and there's a little bit of, it's hard to put it on him, but he's coming at half time and playing a different position. But Yoro a little bit I know he didn't want to give a penalty away, but it just feels like United are doing so many good things at the moment. But the big moments, you're almost just giving that extra half a yard, whether it's in the head, and you've got to be a little bit more robust and a little bit more streetwise and a little bit more see off the danger understand when it really matters. You've got to just nip the problem in the bud. And that's 2 goals really that, listen, Morgan's taken them unbelievably well, but United's point of view, I think there's things that you can do there to make it a lot harder than they did.
Absolutely. I mean, he has so much to do there. I would just like to highlight that touch where he takes of his toe. When he goes and wins that second ball, Ollie Watkins does brilliant to get in front of the Man United defenders. And when it bounces to him, he's under pressure on his inside. I think it was Yoro there. And his first touch with his toe, we saw Benjamin Sesko go through with Martinez, didn't we, in the first half, and he towed it nearly out of play. I mean, we're talking about someone who don't even think about it. His touch, his feel, he just smells it, he anticipates it. There's a little touch, a little one after that as well, and it just sets him up perfectly. He's just a class apart than the average footballer.
And full credit, as the boys were saying, to his manager Unai Emery, who certainly enjoyed both of those goals, particularly the second one. I don't see too much emotion from Unai Emery these days, but that is the way he celebrated. But he has been inspired by Villa managers of the past. Unai Emery's clearly been touching the tradition and history at Villa Park. That's what you do when you get a good moment as the Villa manager, isn't it, Tim? We certainly had to bleep that out, don't worry.
I don't know why you bleeped out Unai. There's a lot of Spanish speakers out there. That's certainly. I'll tell you what it was. It was about. This is the moments in games what change. Brad Guzan was my goalkeeper, and he tried to play out in a ridiculous area, nearly cost us a goal. And we go up the other end and we actually score. So it's a bit half relief, but the emotion. Listen, you can't, Michael. What's it like when you're standing there? It's just.
I've never done that. I don't know.
He was too cool for that.
He is, yeah.
Too cool.
He's too laid back.
The emotions just take you on, and it's and especially with a big crowd like at Villa Park, when they're on your side, they're magnificent.
Must be humbling to know you've inspired Unai Emery in this celebration anyway. So, right, all smiles for Unai Emery. Defeat though for Manchester United and their manager. Here he is, Ruben Amorim.
Well, Ruben, you overcame almost every setback today. Well, what's your feeling as you stand there right now? Could you have done much more today?
No, I think we were. I think everybody saw that we were the better team today. We were unlucky, even with the injury of Bruno. But during the game, even without Bruno, we were the better team. We blocked quite well the transitions, one against one all the time, and they did really well. So I think we did a very good job that no one is going to remember tomorrow, because what matters is the result.
Just talk to us about how you adapted today, how you set your midfield up. It was Agate, I think, behind the other three. That's at least how it looked to me. Why did you do that, and what problems do you think you gave them with that setup?
We already knew that Aston Villa play with everybody inside, and we need to overload that situation. We have been working, training like that. So with different options, we can use different starting 11s for any game. So I think we are improving. But in the end, again, I think we deserve so much more today. But the better team didn't want today.
How much of a shock was it firstly to see Bruno feeling what looked like his hamstring, and then to lose him? He's just, among his many qualities, he's just always there, always fit, always plays. So firstly, how much of a shock was that?
Yeah, well it's really strange. But in the moment, I think even during this year, especially in this time, we have so many problems. But we have to cope with that. I think Fletcher did his first game, so it's a good news. Lacey, the same thing. So we'll try to find solutions and go for the next game.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the academy, of course. So did that mean a lot to you, given the club's traditions, to give those two guys Premier League debuts?
I think it's everything combined. It's the history of the club. If you see, I know that I'm manager for just 6 years, I think, and it's all about, even Sporting is all about the academy. So every manager wants to bring players from the academy, not spend money, because this gives value to the to the manager. I just want to win. I just want to be certain that the players that come in from the academy are not going to suffer too much. So I'm just trying to help the club. It doesn't matter if it's from the academy or abroad.
Sorry to go back to Bruno. I know it's very early, but what are the early indications with him in terms of what the injury is, how bad it might be?
Yeah, I think he's soft tissues, so he's going to take a while. We'll see.
And Kobe, I know you spoke about that before the game, but you think that's a calf and shouldn't be too long?
We'll see. I don't want to say nothing, because the last time that I spoke about Mata, for example, you never know. So let's focus on the next game, the players that we have, and then do everything we can to recover the players.
It's going to be a huge test for the group, isn't it? Losing Kobe, now Bruno, on top of the players you're already without. They have happened at the worst possible time, haven't they?
We need to prepare all the guys that we have to the next game. The responsibility is the same. We cannot use anything as an excuse. No one is going to remember this problem. So let's cope with that, and it will make us stronger.
But do we see today a team and a club going in the right direction, the way you played?
I think I saw that since the beginning of this season, a team that is going forward, but sometimes relax a little bit. Sometimes he's not there in the right moment to fight, but today was completely the opposite. We were the better team against a team that plays at home in a very good run. We were really unlucky today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Derek.
Well, that's a big blow. You can see how down he is about his captain. He'll be out for a while, just to give you a reason why United haven't often played without Bruno Fernandes. He's played 325 times since his debut, and in that period he's missed just 17 of those 325 games.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing run, and I think that's why almost surprised. We were surprised. We've never really seen him do that, and I was hopeful that with the carrying on and coming off at half time that it might have been a kind of a smaller one, really, and it's a bit of a precaution at half time, but the manager didn't really want to commit too much, understandably, in terms of length of time. But I have to say, as much as that we thought of the impact again, I thought United dealt with it very well, actually, and Ugarte and particularly Martinez coming into midfield. I thought it didn't really disturb the flow of the game. I know, obviously, they scored with and conceded the goal, but actually, if you're looking at the flow of it, I thought that United were in a good place for a lot of that game, and surely they've got to miss Bruno because he offers so much and he impacts the team a lot. I like the way the manager was positive and said, we've got to get on, we've got to find a way, and we've got solutions, and we have to play young boys. We do great, we'll back them. I think you got to just embrace the situation and take it for what it is, and it's a big period of time coming up for them in the games over Christmas.
It is, because he's got 4 away with AFCON. He's got De Ligt and Maguire still out. He's lost Fernandes today, and obviously we don't know the situation with Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, that's when you look at the bench today, that's quite a list for Manchester United to cope with.
Yeah, they didn't look strong from the outset, did they? Both on the pitch and in the subs. But now he probably wishes that he had to give the kids a little opportunity, dropping them in 10 minutes, 15 minutes here or there, because now he's going to be forced to do it. But it's up to the boys now to take their opportunity. You mostly get your chance in adversity, and now they've got the opportunity. So Kobe's going to have to get himself fit, and he's going to have an opportunity to go and play. I just worry, you talk about managing minutes, when they've had so many games in the past, playing in Europe, playing cup competitions. Now they're not. Now they're playing from Premier League to Premier League. I don't think they're training enough. I really don't. I think you have to manage your schedule, and that means putting in some harder sessions during the week and train as you play. And I think that is why it can only be a muscle injury we're talking about there. That's something they're not doing correct in training, because if the games are coming thick and fast, there's enough game time. We talked about the man. I mean, the availability of Bruno Fernandes is incredible, but he's been playing an awful lot of games over the years. Now it's only 1 game a week, and he's playing the next one. They have to step up their training. I'm a firm believer that a lot of injuries come from under-training. I don't listen to this nonsense of overplaying, and I just don't buy into it. I just think it's about, if you're not training as firm as and with the aggression of what you're playing, then when the adrenaline's flowing and the crowd are around the pitch, you're going to get yourself injured. And I think I can only surmise that he's under-trained there, because he's only playing 1 game a week. Bruno Fernandes, he doesn't miss a game, but he's usually playing 2 games a week.
Did you get a Christmas card from the sports science department at Villa?
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. I mean, you've been here. When you lose players, you have to, like you say, you've used the word embrace, but you have to be inventive, don't you? Like a Martinez in midfield today.
Yeah, I think you've got to see is the challenge, and there's the number of games in the league and the number of games in cups or whatever. That's just how it is. It always is that, and you always get, every team gets injuries, and it's how you get through it. It's not one team. I know you might get a few more than everyone gets them at some point. Yeah. Some have got squads that can cope with it, but actually it's always a thing. And part of being successful in the league is who can adapt, who can get on with it, who's positive, who's prepped right, whether you've got games or not games, and getting through a season. It's not a perfect world, and I actually thought they adapted and made the most of probably what they could today. But it's not new. It's not going to go away. You can't play less games, but you're still going to get injuries, but you've got to make the most of it and take on the challenge to go, actually, I'm fit enough, I'm strong enough, or we can fight and we can scrap and we can get through it. And I see it as a big challenge rather than the negatives of what we're missing.
Yeah. Casemiro have got back after suspension for Boxing Day. Let's finish with Villa. I mean, Morgan Rogers said, we'll let you guys have the conversations. You said at the top then they can't win the title. Do you still say that, even when they're
I don't think they can win it. I
halfway?
hope they do, but I just think if they can win it. I said they can win it if they keep everyone fit. At the moment, they're keeping everyone fit, and there's a happy dressing room because they're all feeling part of it, because they're all getting their minutes. So, why not? If they keep everyone fit, they've got an opportunity to. But I wasn't convinced there today, I have to say that. I thought they got over the line, but so do Liverpool, so do Man City now and again, so do Arsenal. So it's going to be tough for them.
OK, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for your company. Tim's off to celebrate by whipping his jacket off above his head because Aston Villa have won for 10 in a row and they've gone back within 3 points of the leaders for Christmas. From the three of us, we'll see you soon.